In a certain country, a chaebol develops a miraculous drug that makes those who take it bloodthirsty. At this time, Sae-Bom is with the person who bought the drug. When Lee-hyun found out, he threatened Sae-hoon that if he touched Sae-Bom, he'd show him what he's made of. Fortunately, it turns out to be a false alarm. However, unbeknownst to them, the building is already infested with the infected. At home, Seo-yoon hears a knock on the door. An alert Seo-yoon cautiously goes to the door to check a blood-covered man outside, with a sinister smile, falsely claims to be a friend of Seo-yoon's mother. Seo-yoon, having heard stories of the big bad wolf and the little white rabbit from her mother, doesn't believe him. Terrified by the man's eerie demeanor, Seo-yoon quickly shuts the door, as the man persistently tries to harm Seo-yoon. Sae-Bom and Lee-hyun arrive. They are baffled by the man's presence and question how he got in and why he's covered in blood. Lee-hyun confronts the man sternly. The man, realizing he's at a disadvantage, flees. Lee-hyun and Sae-Bom immediately sense something is wrong after their encounter with the man. They rush downstairs to the gym, where the man who was guarding Sunbeam was nowhere to be found. A phone left on the ground suggests they might have met with misfortune. The infected entered the building and they were attacked without knowing it. Seeing Sumin bitten by an infected, Hyun-kyung panics and runs back to the gym. However, too kind-hearted to resist Sunbeam's desperate pleas, Hyun-kyung throws the handcuff keys to him. Sunbeam rushed out and scared Hyun-kyung. Sunbeam kept saying that he was thirsty. Of course, Hyun-kyung knew that this was a sign before the onset of the infection and she ran away in a hurry.
나왔어요. 아줌마, 여기 와요. 같이 올라가야죠. 계속 거기 있을 거예요? 나 좀 믿어봐요!
A black shadow flashes and stops Hyun-kyung from running away. At the same time, Sae-Bom and Lee-hyun find Sunbeam, who has drunk 2 large barrels of water. Lee-hyun slowly approaches him with handcuffs, but Sunbeam mutates at that moment. Suddenly, Tae-suk appears and resolves the crisis. Sae-Bom questions Tae-suk's purpose for being there. Tae-suk falsely claims he came for Seo-yoon. However, his conversation with Seo-yoon revolves around inquiring about Sae-Bom. Knowing Seo-yoon's mother is infected, Tae-suk's true purpose for coming to this perilous place remains a mystery. Lee-hyun and Sae-Bom pointed their guns at Tae-suk. Why did a group of people who were supposed to be in peace create such a chaotic situation? Suspicion had arisen in Lee-hyun the moment Tae-suk unexpectedly arrived at Building 1. Lee-hyun interrogates Tae-suk about the time frame for developing a virus vaccine and inquires why Sae-Bom's wound is not healing, wondering if she too has been infected. Tae-suk smiles and starts to talk nonsense in a serious manner. He assures Lee-hyun that 4 individuals have already developed antibodies against the virus and that a vaccine will soon be available to the public. He also assures that as long as Sae-Bom's wound doesn't turn black, she hasn't been infected. This relieves Lee-hyun. Tae-suk instructs Lee-hyun to gather all residents of Building 1, promising them that if they hold on a little longer, the government will soon control the virus. Just then, an alarm sounds. The neighborhood lockdown escalates to a citywide lockdown, contradicting Tae-suk's earlier statements. The situation grows increasingly dire, filling everyone with complaints, panic, and fear, but they have no choice but to follow the arrangements. Lee-hyun starts patrolling the building to ensure no other infected individuals are present. Feeling uneasy and anxious, after careful thought, Lee-hyun realizes that Tae-suk's true purpose is Sae-Bom. Meanwhile, Sae-Bom hands a letter Seo-yoon wrote to her mother to Tae-suk. Tae-suk finally reveals his objective to Sae-Bom. She alone possesses the antibodies against the virus. If necessary, Tae-suk suggests letting an infected person bite Sae-Bom again to fight the virus and save humanity. Lee-hyun, sensing something amiss and seeing the elevator numbers changing, instructs Jungkook to guard the elevator and block Tae-suk, while he takes the stairs to find Sae-Bom on the 15th floor. However, Tae-suk has a gun, and Jungkook quickly capitulates. Just as Tae-suk is about to take Sae-Bom away, Lee-hyun arrives in time, leading to the standoff at the beginning. Not wanting any harm to come to Sae-Bom, who is a living vaccine, Tae-suk halts his actions. Sae-Bom cooperatively completes her examination and returns to Building 1 with Lee-hyun. As night falls, lights go out in building after building, with the expected power and water cutoffs beginning. Meanwhile, in Building 1, some residents' hearts are turning dark. At that moment, Ju Hyung injected the drug he found in Sunbeam's car into the water. What exactly is he planning to do? Lee-hyun had obtained evidence of Ju Hyung killing his wife, but due to the virus, he couldn't bring Ju Hyung to justice immediately. This delay gave Ju Hyung an opportunity to plot. During a gathering in the building, a box filled with various drinks was placed before everyone. It was already the 4th day of the water and power outage, and without much thought, the thirsty residents began to drink. Lee-hyun and Sae-Bom, sensing something amiss, didn't drink the water from the box. They went to the neighborhood's entrance, wondering why the quarantine hadn't been lifted yet. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the city. And the broadcast plunged everyone into despair once more, revealing the severity of the situation. The residents frantically sought ways to survive. Inside the building, Yeon-ok obviously knew what Ju Hyung was planning, and she told Lee-hyun and Sae-Bom about it. To eliminate all threats, Sae-Bom and Lee-hyun visited Ju Hyung's apartment. The sinister Ju Hyung hands them drinks, and Lee-hyun, of course, doesn't believe him. Ju Hyung, who had drunk the beverage, vomited violently, as if he had ingested something filthy. Sae-Bom and Lee-hyun, overhearing this from the doorway, confronted Ju Hyung, asking if he had added something to the water. With a sinister smile, Ju Hyung no longer hid his actions, revealing that everyone in Building 1 had consumed the water laced with the zombie virus drug. He told Sae-Bom and Lee-hyun that now everyone should just quietly wait at home for a vaccine to control the virus as the apocalypse approached.
뭐 하는 거야?
야, 그게 뭐라고 먹어? 빨리 뱉어 빨리.
쓰다. 이거 야구할 때 먹던 소화제거든요.
이거 뭐야?
소화제. 나 야구할 때 긴장하면 배 아팠거든. 그러니까 좀 바꿔놨습니다.
Lee-hyun, the astute detective, had already swapped the drugs hidden by Sunbeam. Hearing this, Ju Hyung was in disbelief. Meanwhile, Progress was made with the antibodies extracted from Sae-Bom's blood. The infected began to regain consciousness. Even Tae-suk's wife showed signs of improvement. Could the zombie virus truly be controlled? And would happiness finally arrive?